Hello, everyone. This is Tukan from LeadSift here. And today I have Ali Abbas with me in this webinar. Hey, Ali.
Hey,
How's it going?
it's going really well. How are you?
Pretty good. Thank you. So today's webinar is actually very different than what we have ever done. Today, it's what we are calling it a master class style session, where what we are going to try and do is Ali is going to do sort of like a tutorial where he's going to show you how to better target ads on Facebook using custom audiences. I know this has been a hot topic for a lot of our prospect, a lot of our audience has been asking us these questions. So we're going to go in and rather than talking and slides and everything, what we decided was let's just share the screen and do a live demo of that. So super excited about it. But before we go into the actual content, let's just spend a few minutes. Ali, if you want to give a quick introduction about yourself and what does CrowdLinker do, that'll be great.
Yeah, perfect. Hey guys, I'm so excited you guys are here. Joining us for this tutorial or demo or whatever. My name is Ali Abbas. I'm the Director of Marketing at CrowdLinker. I'm wearing their shirt right now, CrowdLinker. Go follow us on LinkedIn if you get a chance. Yeah, so CrowdLinker is in layman terms, you can call it design and development studio, but it's a little bit more advanced than that. We've actually built out an entire team. So we have, UX designers, developers, marketers. And essentially what we do is we work with a lot of the top tech startups in Toronto, and we help build out software and solutions for them. One part of our business is creating websites, and we've done that for League, Top Hat, FreshBooks. So these are a lot of really big players within the Toronto marketplace, and they basically trust us because we've done it a million times before, and we already know what scale up sort of needs in their website. So that's one part of our business. The other part of our business is actually building out a sophisticated software. So mobile apps, web apps. So I was just talking with Toucan. We're building something for NBC NBC Universal, as well as we just finished a project with Shopify. So yeah, there's a lot of very cool, interesting stuff. So if you're somebody who's on the innovation side, or you're somebody on the marketing side and you have a brilliant idea or a web app or a lead magnet, or you're redesigning your website, that's something definitely that CrowdLinker can help you out with. Either you can reach out to me personally afterwards, or you can just follow us on LinkedIn or get in touch any way you possibly can. But yeah, that's a little bit about CrowdLinker and myself.
Very good. Thank you so much, Ali. So here's the problem. We know Facebook has 2.7 billion active users.
Yeah.
So everyone that you're potentially trying to sell is on Facebook. They actually have an account on Facebook. No doubt about that. But the question that we hear repeatedly from our prospects and talking just to the market is, but does it work really for business to business? So that is the question. So, and my question to you, Ali, is, what has been your experience? I know you have run Facebook ads. What do you think? Because you guys are a B2B shop. So what has been your experience with regard to using Facebook as a lead generation channel?
Yeah, that's a really good question. So we had a lot of hesitations, and we had a lot of very similar questions when we were entering the space. I think that just by simply the fact of the matter is that 2.7 billion people are on Facebook. Your buyer persona is on Facebook. So with that being said, we took a little bit of a chance on Facebook. We invested a little bit of money into it. And what we were hoping for was, a couple of people to either sign up to schedule a meeting with one of our specialists who would guide them through, a product design process or a development process. Or the other play that we have was we created a little bit of an ebook, and we were trying to market that to our very specific buyer persona. So for example, the ebook was how to migrate your website without losing search engine optimization, which is a big risk when you're migrating a website. And if you're hiring somebody who hasn't done that before, then they might kind of mess it up. And if you're a FreshBooks, for example, and you rely, all of your resources basically come from search. A lot of your new business comes from search. You're very cognizant about that. So with that being said, what I'll tell you guys about Facebook is that yes, you can do both of these things, and we have done them successfully, and I'm going to show you guys how we did them successfully. But you have to understand that on Facebook, when you are pitching more complicated things, such as a website or a development project, which could be very complex, and apart from that, it's very expensive. It could be hundreds of thousands of dollars. So you have to kind of break it up, right? You're not gonna sell a person a $250,000 website on through Facebook, but you can definitely pitch them on, hey, let's get together and let's have a technology consultation. Let's get together and let's talk a little bit about our design portfolio. These are things you can do, and these are things which we have done at a fairly cost-effective price. The other thing is, if I could just add one more thing,
Sure.
what option do you really have? Like your other option for B2B is, let's say, LinkedIn. If any of you guys have experience with doing LinkedIn advertising, you know this for a fact, that you can run through an entire day on Facebook's budget within seconds on LinkedIn. It's just so extremely expensive. And the return that we saw was Facebook did work. So it worked better than LinkedIn. If you have a ginormous budget, maybe LinkedIn can work for you. But if you're a little bit more conservative, then what's your choice? Facebook is the other advertising platform.
Awesome. So there you have it. Facebook does work for B2B, and we're going to see how you can make it work. So before we go any further, I know there's quite a few audience here. Just I actually don't know how to do the polling here, but if you guys can just type in the chat, yes, if you do run some kind of Facebook advertisement for your business, that'll be great. That'll give us an idea of what kind of audience you have. So just type yes, like Y or yes in the chat if you can. That'll be great. Yes, cool. Oh wow. So we have Luke, Alana, Olivia. Perfect. So we have a few people that are running ish. Okay, so quite a few people do run Facebook ads currently for their business to business product. So this is great. So you did say, Ali, that Facebook works from a B2B perspective, both from appointment setting and also driving leads for your ebook or some kind of content. Now that's great. Now let's go a step below within the Facebook ad targeting space. Facebook has something called custom audience, which I guess you'll talk more about. Can you tell me a little bit about the Facebook custom audience product, and what has been your experience? What did you do with Facebook custom audience for CrowdLinker?
Yeah, so for sure. So with custom audiences themselves, it's essentially when you have a curated list of people that you want to exactly target on Facebook. That is what a custom list is. So essentially what you're doing is you're feeding in emails, and what Facebook is doing is trying to match those emails with users on their website. And once it finds those matches, it's not 100% accurate. I mean, it's not 100% match rate because they might be using a separate email. But even then, Facebook tries its best to kind of curate which person this is. Once they find that person, you can exactly target that individual with your message or your advertising through this custom audience. Now, custom audiences are very exciting. But what's even more exciting, and the reason why I urge you guys to maybe try out Facebook, just a couple $100, is because based on those custom audiences, you can create something called a lookalike audience. Toucan, can I talk about this, or do you want to come back to it?
No, go for it. Go for it. This is great.
Okay. Sure. So where it becomes really exciting is that once you fed in that custom audience, and you need at least 20 email addresses or 20 verified people on Facebook in order to do this. And I'm going to show you guys how. So once you have this, and it's a very small list, what you can start to do is you can create lookalike audiences. So what Facebook will do is it will actually go out, and let's say you fed in 1,000 people. Facebook will actually go out and, based on their characteristics, say that they're of this age, say that they're all say that they're all female, say that they're all from Toronto, say that they're all from this earning potential. Facebook will actually find people who resemble the same people that you have in this list, and will build a new list for you with even more people. And you can continue to take this frame up. So you can create a lookalike of 1%, which is the most targeted. That means that the people in this list will share a lot of similar characteristics to the audience that you've just fed in, which is a custom audience. Then you can go 2%, which is less relevant, but still relevant. You can take this all the way to 10%. And to be honest with you, if you have a really great email list, which LeadSift provides, you can build out 10 different audiences just from this lookalike, and start testing those types of audiences. And once again, it's going to be very curated to who you're actually targeting in the first place. So it makes targeting a cinch when you have a very curated list, as well as with this feature that Facebook offers, which is lookalike audiences.
That's awesome. Well, one question I wanted to ask you, Ali, is obviously LeadSift provides, and a lot of our customers do this, is they take this list of potential buyers and they target them on custom audience, do lookalike and all that stuff. Can you also do the same thing with your existing customers? So let's say you have 100 customers. Can you upload their email address, contact details, and then do a lookalike of potentially other people that look like your existing customers and target them?
Yeah, exactly. That would be a really great way to do it, but eventually you're gonna run out, right? Eventually you need some new source of emails. That's where LeadSift comes in. But if you're just doing it for yourself, then yes, definitely your own user base is a great place to go. You can even upload your newsletter. If you have a newsletter list, you can upload that. That's probably going to be very curated. And the other place that I would really recommend that you do it is through your, if you have retargeting set up, which if you have a Facebook pixel on your website, you have retargeting set up already. So you can retarget the people who come to your website or a certain page on your website, or spend a certain amount of time on your website. Like you can create lookalike audiences on these specific custom audiences that you built up.
Awesome. Cool. Now, this is great context. And I guess let's get to the meat of it. So Ali, if you want to share your screen and now walk the audience through of how to set up a custom audience in Facebook and how can you target different audiences, that'll be great. And while Ali is setting this up, folks, so pay attention to the screen. This will be recorded, this whole session that you're going to see in your screen right now, so we can share it later. But the other thing that I will ask is, let's keep it, a dialogue-based thing, so engaging. So if there is a question that you have while Ali is presenting something that you're not clear about, please feel free to put your question in the chat window, and we'll try to answer it. So Ali, take it away.
Yeah, perfect. So yeah, definitely guys, engaging would be very good. I think you retain a lot more when you're actually like answering questions or asking questions. There's actually a study done that you retain a lot more if you ask just 2 more questions during any presentation. So that's just something I'm putting out there. Yeah, so if this was more interactive, I would ask you guys what level you guys are, like whether you guys are beginners or whether you guys are like advanced. That way I can maybe curate a little bit better, but I'm just gonna go with like a streamlined version of what I'm trying to present. So I'm already here, but I'll just start from the very beginning. So say you're in your business account. If you guys don't know what this is, I don't think I can super help you. You might need to go to YouTube first and just figure out how to get to this part. This is basically your business manager, and it stacks all your things. So you can see here, I have LeadSift's business manager, or their business manager home, which is what I'm going into right now. So when you're here, when you're on this screen, what you're going to want to do is you go down to audiences. Okay,
so just so that everyone understands, what we are doing here is we are actually using Ali is basically using LeadSift's Facebook account and LeadSift's audiences to target the potential buyers. I know there's a question here while Ali just so one question is, someone said we have knowledge of Facebook, but how does LeadSift's custom audience fit into custom audience? And I think that's what Ali is going to talk about. And there's a question from Chris. His question is, can the data from LeadSift be used in B2C? I run an agency that works with financial advisors. Unfortunately, what we are doing, Chris, is specifically for B2B audience. That doesn't mean to say that it cannot be used in B2C, but the thesis, the way the audience building is done and the targeting is done, it would work for both B2B and B2C. It doesn't really matter. Sorry, Ali, go ahead.
No worries, guys. So we're on this screen right here. And essentially what I'm doing right now is just to build a little bit upon what Toucan said, is that you have 2 ways of targeting in Facebook. So you can either feed them a list of audiences that you want to target, so it's specific people that you want targeted, or the other way is that you leverage their own targeting. So when I'm making the ad, you're gonna see a lot of different prompts. You can target people by interest, by age, by whatever. So these are the 2 different ways of targeting. What we're trying to do here is that because with Facebook targeting, you can get very specific, but it's kind of hard to it's kind of hard to pin down your audience. With when you're feeding in a specific list of your audience, you know who you're targeting. So this is essentially what I'm doing here, guys. So once you're on this screen right here, remember we went to audiences. You would just go into create an audience and you would create custom audience. So this part was already done for me by the LeadSift team, simply because it takes a little while for the list to get uploaded and for Facebook to actually track down the people who are in this list. So essentially, you would get like you would feed in a CSV full of the emails into this program, and essentially you're the source of the users. This is where you would go. You would click on customer list, and essentially you can download a template and it will show you where to put in specific prompts, or you can just go ahead and do it yourself. Once again, guys, this is all stuff. There's like a million videos on YouTube how to get to this part, so I don't want to sort of stay here. But you can upload a CSV here. It will prompt you where the emails are. You can even put in phone numbers. Tugan, can you just speak a little bit more about which of this data that a LeadSift data would provide? Because what's happening here is that you can put in the email, but when you start putting in the phone number, when you start putting the first, last name, when you start putting the zip code, it makes it even more targeted. It's easier for Facebook to find these people if you put in more data.
Yeah.
So Tugan, if you don't mind, just.
Sure. So what we use to build this list in terms of identifiers, we provide the first name, last name, email address, phone number when available, city, state, country, company. I don't think we share postal code. If we can find some of their personal email address for matching, we also provide that. So we basically try to provide as many information as we can to do the matching. We even try to find their Facebook user ID if there is available.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, so you would come into this place, you would upload your list, you have the list made. So like I said before, we already have a few lists that are made. So we're targeting based on competitor lists. And once again, I think I'm gonna leave this to you two, Ken, just to explain what these three lists are. But we have three lists. We have competitor lists, we have technology, and then we have keywords.
So I'll quickly give an overview. So for this demo purpose, what we did was we tried to reach three specific audiences. The first audience was we wanted to reach out to people that are showing interest about our competitors. So we are a sales intelligence company, intent data company. So we wanted to find other people that are showing interest about our competitors on the public web. So that's a great audience we want to target. The keyword list was we wanted to identify people that were showing interest, again, anywhere on the web about topics like account-based marketing, demand generation, intent data. We wanted to target those people. And then the third one was the technology list. So one of the things we did was we know our data fits, works very well if you use Salesforce or Marketo. So we wanted to target people that are using Salesforce or Marketo at their company. We wanted to target those audience. One thing I will add is once we identified these people and companies, we filtered them down by the ICP. So, you can be using Salesforce or Marketo, but you can be, a B2C company, a construction company or something like that. That will not be a fit. So we identified the companies and people and then filtered by our ICP. And these are the three lists, specific lists we wanted to target.
Perfect. And you guys can kind of see from, like, if you're marketers, you can kind of see from everything that you kind of just said that it's kind of like, okay, perfect. Now I know who I'm targeting. I can have my message specifically for technology. I can mention the word Marketo in there. I can mention these kind of things, which really improves your your how do I even say this? Your relevance with the ads themselves. It really kind of pops out to people that, wow, it feels like you're speaking specifically to me. And that's kind of like one of the edges you get with this kind of targeting, intent-based targeting. So anyways, guys, we're here. So I would basically, once I have this built out, you guys can see I've already done a few just for demonstration purposes. So I'm just gonna do one, and then I'll come back and explain to you my process. So let's go with what did I do here? Competitor list. Okay, so let's go with just technology, right? So once you have this list, so for example, I named the list that I uploaded. I named the technology list. So once it's uploaded, it's gonna take a little while. It might take up to 24 hours for it to run. but you're gonna see the total size right here. So for this specific list, it's about 2,600 people, right? It's a manageable size, it's a manageable number that you can work with. But of course, if you're running a business, you want from this 2,600 people, you want to see, you want higher numbers. You want to be able to speak to more people, right? So essentially what you're trying to do here is you would go into technology list, and this is how Facebook is gonna help you find other people. So you go down here, so you're in that list, you go to actions, you go to create a lookalike, and it will give you this prompt. You just have to, you have to firstly pick the country. Tukan, I'm just gonna pick Canada, is that okay?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so you have to pick a country, or you can pick every single country. That's also a prompt that you can do. Very easy to do. You don't have to select every single country. It just gives you a prompt. But for this sake, we're just going to use Canada. Okay. Right now, you can see that we're on the most targeted. So we're at 1%. And we already have uncovered, or Facebook has already uncovered 260,000 people. Based on my small list, now that it's taken this list and it's found many people who are very much like this list that I've uploaded, now I have 260,000 people to talk to instead of just having 4,000 people to talk to. So this is essentially what a lookalike audience would do. You go ahead and you create it. Failed to create custom audience. I have no idea why I did that. Okay.
No, it's building.
Perfect. So you have right here. So you have the 1%, right? You've just created this new audience right here. So you've just created this new audience. It's currently being populated. That's why I went ahead and did the other ones. So I actually did it for competitor list. So I took that one and I basically recycled it. Now what you're trying to do here is just like I ran through with the 1%. What you want to do is you can even take it up to all the way up to 10. So what you're going to do is you're going to create different ad sets based on each one of these targeting. So you're not going to use any of the Facebook targeting at all. Actually, you're just going to let the custom audiences, the lookalike audience based on the custom audiences, target whoever they need to target. So basically it's kind of like a real cinch. I don't have to think about it too much. I know generally who I'm targeting, and I would just let these Facebook ads run, and eventually you're going to find winners. So my strategy is usually I have one campaign. So the campaign would be a competitor list. That would be my campaign name. And then what I would do is I would create 6 different ad sets. I would target custom audience in one, and then I would target the 5 different percents in each one of them. I would give a $5 to $10 budget to each one of these ones. So it would come up to about, if you have 6 and you're spending $5 a day, that's around $30, which is a very manageable sum. I would let it run for maybe 3 to 5 days, and then you're going to start to see winners. And then from there, all you really do is you get away with the losers and you come back with the winners. What else is happening here is why you want to test all of them, and why you want to test them at the same time is that because this is intent data, LeadSift is going to continue to send you more lists. So you can't just get stuck up on the one list. You have to continuously try to recycle it, and that's where you're going to kind of see the best results, because you're hitting the people when they are hot. So when they've expressed intent is when you're targeting them, and then once that list is done, you move on to the next list that LeadSift sends you. So I wanted to kind of pause here and just open up to questions for a little bit before I actually start making the ads, because I know we covered a lot. So if anyone has any questions, now would be a good time.
Yeah, guys, thanks for that, Ali. So the next step, I guess, would be showing how to build the ad against this audience. Any questions from the audience? Any thoughts? I know there were some questions. There was one question I think Luke had asked, where the question was around, is it on contact level data? Yes, so it is contact level data, and so it's the email address and the first name that you use to match. But if there are any other questions, feel free. So one question here is from Karthik. The question was size of sample data used. So in this case, Karthik, I think the competitor list was about 1,100 people. I think that's what Facebook matched. I think we probably gave 5,000 people or around 4,000 people that Facebook could match to 1,100. So that was a sample size.
Cool.
Awesome.
Also, yeah, sorry guys. I'll also let me know if I'm talking too fast. I tend to do that sometimes. So just ping in and I'll try to slow it down. Does it work with a smaller sample size?
Yeah. What do you think, Ali? Does it work with smaller sample
Yeah,
size?
you need 20 people. That's the threshold. Right now we have 1100. Of course, the bigger it is, the better it is. But you know, working off a list of anywhere from 1,000 to actually 500 to 10,000 is very good.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay, so let's actually go ahead and create an ad now. So you're just gonna come over here, create an ad. And guys, now I'm getting in more into what Crowdlinker did. So this is, you know, there's a million ways to go about this. This is just from my personal experience, and this is what I personally did. So it might not be perfect for you, but I just want to kind of leave you with something that, you know, it kind of shows that what we did. I already started one, but let's just start over. Yeah. So once again, what Crowdlinker did was we went with conversions. Yeah, it's just conversions are just better, in my opinion. There's other people who would say otherwise, but I try to go with conversions as much as possible. Daily budget, I don't know, too, again, this is your dollars. So
Go for it. Whatever you think is good. Yeah, 30 is
yeah,
good.
$30. Yeah, $30. Essentially, we would want to let it run for like 3 to 5 days, and then we would get rid of anything that's not working, and then just reallocate the budget as needed. So if you continue. I'm not gonna create 6 different ad sets, but I would if I was doing this. It would just be too repetitive. And once you see the first process, you're gonna be able to figure out the rest. So
Yeah.
you of course want to name it. I forgot what the list was called.
Competitors.
Competitor. Competitor. Let's make this the custom. So there's 6 that I'm gonna go ahead and I want to create. The first one would be custom, and then the other ones would be the lookalikes. So pixel, we of course want to lead. Once again, guys, make sure that this is set up like properly so that you're actually telling Facebook the right data. I would go with dynamic ads. I do sometimes, but not for this example. So yeah, so this is basically where you are. So you would come just down here and you would find the custom audience. So it's the competitor list.
Sure.
Right here. So this right here, I would create an ad just like this, and then I would just duplicate it 5 times. And in each one of those 5, I would come in here, get rid of this, and let's go with the 1%. Then I would create another one, get rid of this. Let's go with the 2%. Then get rid of this with the 3%, 4%, 5%. So these are all different campaigns. They're all going to give us different statistics. We need to give them individual budgets so that they can actually go ahead and spend. So yeah, so like that's how I'd go about it. But for this example, let's just go back and let's just go with the 1%. Who cares? Where is it? Here. Yeah. So this is an ad group on itself. We can edit this. I don't know. Let's just.
I don't think we have 20-year-old marketers we sell to, but.
So what do you think is the minimum limit?
I would say 25 would be minimum. That's what we have noticed. But to be honest, our marketing person is younger than that, and she's pretty kick-ass. So I don't know. Sure, let's just go 25.
Okay. All genders will keep that. It's a little bit too early to start really being specific about it. Once we have the winners, then we can start becoming a little more specific. But for just when you're starting off, you just want to let Facebook do its thing and figure it out. So literally, like if I was doing this any other way, this would take me at least 30 minutes because then I would have to go in, and this is not including research. So first you have to do research. What am I exactly targeting? Am I targeting XYZ? Am I targeting this interest? Am I targeting that interest? With LeadSift, like I just have to put in that list, and I'm pretty much like I'm not changing much else. Instead of automated, I would go with manual simply because we're not, the budget isn't ginormous, so you don't really need to do all these. And I would basically just stick with all of this and just stick with news feeds.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's it. That's the targeting. Like like this is a very laborious process for anyone who's done it, but you can see I've just done it in like 2 minutes. It wasn't hard at all. Continue. I hope this is valuable so far. I hope no one's like sitting there being like, oh my God, I already know all this. That's my worst fear.
To be honest, a lot of those people that had joined are still here, so that's a good sign.
Yeah,
I mean, for sure, for some of them, some of this might be information that they knew, but for a lot of
yeah,
them, this is new. So this is,
yeah.
well, I didn't know that this is how it works. Our marketing person does it. I just know the custom audiences work. So this is new for me.
Yeah. So essentially, yeah. So I was just like the entire purpose of like this portion is just to show you that it's like so clutter free. Like I've run Facebook campaigns where I have like 30 different interest groups, and then they all have to be, broadened, or they have to be, shortened or whatever. It just takes such a long time. But when you have intent data, you know who you're targeting, you can just put it in, and you can be pretty confident that you're going to hit the right people. I would come in here, but I don't have access to your page, but I would of course change the page. But yeah, that's what would happen. Oh, one thing I wanted to kind of show you guys before I forget. So if we come back here, you can see over here, right? So so I did an example for the other ones. You can see over here how this really like builds, which is really interesting. So you have 1,000, you have 1,100 people here, then it goes up to 250 at 1%, then it goes up to 490 at 2%, then you have 740, then you have 980, and so on. So that's really interesting, because once again, when you're targeting on Facebook, the size of the audience really matters as compared to your budget, and you're always trying to hit that sweet spot. So it's pretty interesting how it builds builds up with each percentage. Anyways, guys, back over here. Once again, pretty simple. Go ahead and you create your ad. I've already been given some of the creatives. So I'm just gonna go ahead and pick the one for competitor.
So Ali, when you were running the custom audience on Facebook, were you having different ad copy for different audiences? Is that what you'd recommend? So if I'm targeting my customer's audience versus someone showing interest about a topic, would you have the creative call to action different?
Exactly. Yeah, I would have a different. I'll give you example from our specific campaign, one of them that we ran.
Sure.
It was along the lines of we were targeting people who are web design leaders. We were targeting people who are web design leaders. We were targeting people who just wanted like a strategy session. We were targeting people who were in the market to get a new website made, because they were looking at our competitors who kind of do this kind of stuff. So yeah, so for each one of them, there was a different image, a different creative. It was a different, it was different everything. Like you're completely speaking to a different audience.
Okay.
So you go ahead. This picture is someone we want. So yeah, I already have some of the text here. I think this is supposed to be the headline. Let me just change it to desktop.
And did you target both mobile and desktop, or?
Yeah. Okay. Usually, like if I have more time and maybe, yeah, if I have more time, I would separate them out, just because the copy is going to be a little bit different. So you saw on the mobile side, it was kind of truncated, where here it's fine. I think for this example, I'm just gonna. Yeah, I would just truncate it. So looking for.
You can take out the first part. You can just say try the only contact level engine data.
Yeah, so that's good. I think we're gonna need both.
Cool.
Yeah, so yeah, I think it looks just better this way. Anyways, guys, so that's how the copy will kind of look. We can also just put something in here. Let's just put this back down here. So we have something here as well.
Great.
I believe it was booked now.
Yeah.
Yep, and you're pretty much you're done. That's all you really need to do. Then I would simply just go ahead and I would make 6 copies or 5 more copies of this ad, put in the 1%, put in the 2%, put in the 3%, put in the 4%, so on. I would test them for about 3 to 5 days at $5 each, and remove the ones that are losing and put more money into the ones that are winning.
Amazing. So this is what I'd love to do, Ali, is based on what you have set up, what the audience is. I'd love to, after the webinar, we'll work on our end to literally just set these ads, make them go live. We're
Okay.
going to run it for a couple of weeks. Do you think 2 weeks is a good enough period to get some relevant data?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Cool. So I'm going to run it for 2 weeks. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do like a LinkedIn post to sharing the results with the audience, just to
Awesome.
you know, to really put skin in the game. You know, we're putting budget. We just want to showcase, does it work? And if it does work, how does it perform with baseline? I know we are almost edging towards the end of the time. One question I have for you, Ali, is before we give it over for Q&A, is in your experience when you were running these intent-based custom audience ads on Facebook, what kind of results were you seeing? Do you remember anything? Can you share anything with the audience?
Yeah, definitely. So in terms of booking a meeting, I think at our best we were booking a meeting at about $8. And this was with very little optimization. It ranged between $8 and $15. There was also a campaign which was averaging about $25, which we cut away with. But yeah, so we booked about maybe it's hard to say 16 times 4. Probably a little bit like around 50 meetings or 50 conversations for a very menial budget. Like I said, it was about $15. It was converting at about $15. We also did our ebook campaign, which was converting at about $2 or $3.
Oh, wow.
So people were getting the ebook. Yeah.
That is very good. Amazing. I mean, I know we started off by asking the question, does Facebook ads work for B2B? If it does it work for lead gen, whether it's, you know, lower in the funnel, like booking a meeting, or, you know, more top of the funnel, like ebook? Obviously from Ali's example, CrowdLinker, it does work. And obviously Facebook probably has a bunch of other B2B experiences. But the whole point of this webinar or this session, masterclass session, was to showcase how you can use Facebook custom audience along with intent data in a seamless way to target your audience, segment them by different personas and criteria. So thank you so much for that, Ali. I'm gonna hand it over to the audience to see if anyone has any questions. I know there were questions while we were speaking. Any questions from the audience? Do any of you guys think that this is something that you are going to try out for your business from a targeting perspective? What are we thinking? And no right or wrong answers here. So while people think of some questions to ask, one question I did have was in terms of, you know, metrics to track. Someone asked, will there be a link to a recording of the session? Yes, there will be, and everyone that signed up, that registered, will get a link. The whole recording session. Absolutely. One question I have for you, Ali, was when someone is thinking of starting Facebook ad targeting, custom audience, however they build the audience, LeadSift or no LeadSift, what would be some metrics they should be tracking?
Okay.
Is it CPL or click-through rate, or what would be a metric that they should track?
That's a really good question. So it ultimately depends on what your objective is, right? So if your North Star metric for creating a campaign is to, well, the thing is, I think Facebook actually makes it really easy for you. So with Facebook, when you're actually creating an ad, it tells you, hey, is your target conversions? Is your target awareness? Is your target traffic? So actually, if you're answering Facebook's question, you kind of have a pretty good idea, right? As to what the thing should be. So if you select traffic, then obviously you want more traffic to your website. If you select app download, then obviously you want app download. If you want lead, you want lead. Some of the other things maybe you should be tracking are also just you can put UTM links in your advertisements themselves if you're sending them back to a landing page. From there, you can start to track the user metrics, such as, are people hanging around on this web page for X amount of time? Are they scrolling all the way down? If you have Hotjar, if you've invested into Hotjar, are you having these conversations? Are people clicking on your chatbot? But of course, yeah. So cost per impression, cost per lead, just the amount of clicks you're getting, and just the types of results you're getting. I think I think you'll know with Facebook, you'll know whether you're doing a good job or a bad job.
Awesome. Cool. Well, again, thank you so much, everyone, for joining and being so engaged, asking so many questions. Hopefully this was useful, because this was very different than our typical webinars that we do. We wanted to provide value and show you how to use Facebook. So yeah, you're most welcome, Luke. And again, thank you so much, Ali, for sharing your insights, your time. And next step, the follow-up is we're going to run these tests with this audience, and we're going to share with the world what results we got. Hopefully they live up to the expectations that you set, Ali, of $8 a lead or something like that. We'll see how that goes. But again, thank you so much. Thanks, everyone. Talk to you soon.
Cool. Thank you so much.
See ya.